Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're diving straight into one of the most mind-bending philosophical puzzles out there. It's a riddle that has literally baffled kings, scholars, and thinkers for thousands of years. Think about it. How exactly can there be rebirth if there is no eternal soul to be reborn? It sounds like a total contradiction, right? Well, let's figure it out. The ultimate philosophical mystery. Let's set the stage. To really grasp the sheer magnitude of this historical and, honestly, existential mystery, we have to start with this one massive question. If there is absolutely no soul, who or what exactly is getting reborn? This single puzzle completely stumped the great ancient Greek king Menander, who you might know from Indian history as Milind. And he definitely wasn't alone. Even brilliant modern intellectuals like Dr. B.R. Ambedkar found themselves deeply wrestling with this exact glaring contradiction. And you know, what's really fascinating about King Menander's frustration here is how it perfectly mirrors our own. I mean, when we first hear this Buddhist paradox, we feel the exact same way. How in the world can something travel from one life to the very next if nothing permanent exists to actually do the traveling? It just feels like an impossible riddle. The wounded man and the arrow. To actually solve this mystery, we first need to get a handle on Buddha's incredibly pragmatic approach to life and philosophy. See, he wasn't interested in endless, stuffy academic debates. He was interested in real solutions. To kind of explain his mindset, Buddha compared humanity to a man who has just been struck by a hunter's poisoned arrow. Just picture this guy lying on the ground, agonizing in pain, right as his life is slipping away. The absolute most crucial point here is your immediate responsibility. Step 1, obviously, you pull the arrow out and you treat the wound. You absolutely do not pause, move to step 2, and waste precious time asking completely useless questions. You don't ask who shot the arrow, what kind of wood the shaft is made of, or from what distance it was fired. While the poor guy bleeds to death right in front of you, healing takes priority over pointless curiosity. Because of this intense focus on practical, immediate healing, Buddha actually labeled 14 of these unanswerable, distracting metaphysical questions, things like the physical limits of the universe or the exact mechanics of existence after death, as Avyakrita. Instead of wasting his energy debating them, he literally just smiled silently at the person asking. His only goal was treating the human condition and ending suffering, not playing philosophical guessing games. Anatman, the illusion of the soul. Okay, so before we can reveal the actual secret of rebirth, we need to strip away our conventional beliefs for a second and look at the massive philosophical debate that was raging during Buddha's time. On one side, you had the dominant Vedanta philosophy, which claimed that an eternal soul just simply changes bodies like a person changes clothes. Nice and simple. But on the exact opposite side, the materialist Tarvaka philosophy believed the physical body is the soul, meaning when you die, absolutely everything ends forever. Total annihilation, no rebirth, no nothing. So Buddha looked at both of these extremes and basically forged a radical middle path called Anatamavada. He boldly rejected both the eternal soul concept and the absolute annihilation concept. He stated that no, there is no eternal, unchanging soul, but there is still a continuation through rebirth, which of course leaves us right back at our central paradox. Rebirth without a soul. So if it's not a soul, what is it? Well, when the great Buddhist philosopher Nagasena eventually explained this whole thing to the very confused King Menander, he broke down what we casually call a soul into aggregates. He said, look, if you take away the physical body, what remains is simply a bundle. Consciousness, feelings, accumulated memories, and your karma coding. That's the whole shebang. Instead of a permanent, unchanging soul, Nagasena asked the king to imagine his identity as a stream of consciousness. It's a continuous, constantly shifting flow of awareness and karmic balance. It is definitely not a static, solid entity sitting inside your chest. It's a highly dynamic process, literally changing every single microsecond as you experience new things. And here is exactly where rebirth comes into play. When the physical body dies, the unfulfilled karma coding within that stream hasn't reached zero yet. Because that karmic balance still exists, it demands a new physical form to balance the scales. The momentum of your past actions literally forces that stream of consciousness to associate with a completely new physical body, just to continue its journey. The mystery of the extinguishing lamp. So how does something transfer without actually traveling? Let's dive into the ultimate climax of this explainer. This is the brilliant analogy that just makes this entire concept click right into place. Imagine using one burning lamp, we'll call it lamp A, to light a second lamp, lamp B. And right after the second lamp ignites, the first lamp is completely extinguished. Just one flame sparking another.
Now, I want you to ask yourself the million-dollar question. Is the flame currently burning in the second lamp the exact same physical entity as the flame that was in the first lamp? Like, did the flame pack its bags, hop off the first wick, and move on over to the second?
The answer is a definitive no. It is a completely new flame. Yet, and here's the kicker, it only exists because of the first flame. This brilliantly illustrates the Buddhist principle of dependent origination. It's a causal relationship. One action causes the next, without any permanent entity literally jumping across the gap. And that, my friends, is exactly how rebirth works without a soul. The final moment or spark of consciousness in one dying body directly causes the first spark of consciousness in a new body. The karmic code is passed on entirely through this chain reaction. There is a continuation of the process, sure, but there is absolutely no permanent thing that transfers. The flame continues even though the wick changes completely. Which brings us to a really profound realization to leave you with today. If your consciousness is constantly changing, flickering like a flame from moment to moment, are you even the exact same person right now who started watching this explainer just a few minutes ago? Seriously, think about that for a second. The next time you wonder who you truly are, remember the dying lamp. Thanks for joining me on this journey of understanding, and keep questioning everything.